So today I'm going to be talking about inbound marketing, like Courtney said, and I thank you, Courtney, for letting me have a few minutes to talk to everybody about this topic. You know, Inbound marketing is a great way to increase your leads while spending less money, which I think is something that all companies are interested in doing these days. So, just a quick agenda about what we'll be talking about today. We're going to just have a quick overview about what inbound marketing is. We'll talk about the 3 stages of inbound marketing. And there's a lot of different tactics you can use for each stage, but I'm going to just go over just a few different tactics you can implement for each stage of inbound marketing. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can start using inbound at your company. And we'll have a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, just jot them down and we can talk at the end. Like Courtney said, my name is Julie Hallett. If you can't tell, I'm from the South. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm an inbound marketing consultant, and I have over 15 years of experience working with B2B and professional services firms. Courtney and I met several years ago. I am a previous CoCentral data queen at an engineering firm in Nashville. So I'm very familiar with what you guys are working with CoCentral every day. But some of my other specialties are inbound marketing strategy and development and website analytics. And I've got my contact information here over on the right side. Got my email and my LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with everybody on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions after this, feel free to reach out anytime. So we'll start with what is inbound marketing. In our industry, we think of inbound marketing as reaching customers with a magnet rather than a megaphone. With traditional marketing, especially for AEC firms, you might have, you've got referrals, which is actually part of inbound marketing. But, you might have put ads out in different publications. I know, with us, we were doing a lot of trade shows, social media. You're trying to reach, cast that wide net and reach as many people as possible in hopes that they'll remember your name when they need your help. But with inbound marketing, the goal is to put out information so that the right people find you at the right time when they're ready to make a purchasing decision. So really you're playing that role of a guide and helping somebody solve a problem that they have. You can use a variety of different tactics based on, you really want to understand your buyer and the buyer's journey, what steps they take from the time they realize they need help to when they make that purchasing decision. And, you need to be where your buyers are. So, the key with this is really understanding your clients, let's see, Heather's back. Hold on one second. See if I can get my mouse to work here.
Thank you. And so sorry you have to do it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Figure out how to go back and forth here. Okay, let's see. Go ahead and get this. All right. So you really want to understand where your buyers are, and you want to be where they are and provide information that they'll find valuable. So there's 3 main stages of inbound marketing. I'm not sure. Probably some of you have heard of HubSpot. They're a platform. It's a marketing platform, a CRM system. They can host websites and do different things. But this graphic on the right is what they call their flywheel, which basically walks through how they view inbound marketing. There's 3 stages. There's the attract stage, the engage stage, and the delight stage. And basically, the way they see this graphic and this flywheel working is, as strangers come to your website and become prospects, you'll engage with them with different information and tactics, which turns them into customers. As you continue to delight them, they become promoters and tell their friends who are strangers, who become prospects, customers, and so on and so forth. And the reason they use the flywheel, if you're familiar with what a flywheel is, the more energy that gets stored in it, and the way they see it, the more prospects you have, and the more customers, the more efficient and faster the flywheel moves. So it really builds on that energy. So we'll look at each stage in more detail. Like I said, the first stage is the attract stage. And this is where you want to draw in the right people with content that establishes you as a trusted advisor. So, I think most people do this now. If I have something breaks at my house, or, I realize that I need something, I go to Google first and try to figure out, you know, get all the information first, and then I may look at companies and make a buying decision. So what you're trying to do in this stage is come up with information that people are looking for. So, some different things you can do are blog articles. And I know from working in the engineering world, you're around a lot of introverts. Writing is not what they want to do. But if they can just, answer questions that they get constantly, that's always good information to put out on your website, in the hopes that somebody is looking for that information and they'll find you and then call you. Another thing you can do is that I think a lot of firms actually, skip out on, is focusing on that search engine optimization, making sure your website is readable by Google, and that you have the right things in place to show that you have authority, so that will put you up higher on the list when somebody is searching for that information. And then social media. I know, that's an easy thing to kind of put to the side, but I do think, that can help. People do look out on, they look on LinkedIn and they look on Facebook for recommendations. They, are on Instagram looking for pictures of things. And, having that information out there is always a good way to bring in the right people at the right time. And it also helps with your search engine optimization. So all these things build upon each other. But once you have your attract stage in place, we'll go to the engage stage, which is stage 2. And I look at it as the stage of empathy. You want to offer insights to your prospects that demonstrate that you understand their pain points and goals. So this is really, helping them, they know what they need. Now they're just trying to figure out who's the best person to help them. So you want to show that you're the one that best understands what they're going through. And you can offer more content. I would suggest like ebooks, worksheets or templates, things that they can download. I had a client previously that we had sample drawings of their project that, engineering firms could insert into their proposals, that weren't, they were easy, but, that was really helpful to people when they needed them. Email marketing is another example. And then conversational bots. So I'm sure you've seen those on websites where, you have the pop-up of somebody says, hey, what can I help you with? And you can fill in your information. The good thing with all of these pieces too, is that one of the key parts of the engage stage is you're gathering their contact information. So I would say for all of these, in some form or fashion, you get their email address, you get their phone number, and that gives you another way to contact them off of the website. Hopefully your sales team is going to call them if you get their phone number. You can follow up with email newsletters, or, the follow-up emails that you get, after you download something that, with additional information that can be helpful. I think with this stage, you really just want to be empathetic and show that you understand them best, because when they see you as a trusted advisor that understands what they're going through and what they need help with, they're going to become your customer. So then once they become your customer, we're going to look at stage 3, which is the delight stage. And this is, once somebody becomes your customer, you don't want to end there. You want to continue to provide help and support to your clients so that they continue to find success. You want to keep them happy. You want to show that you're proud to work with them, just like they should be proud to work with you. And, and tell their friends. You want them to become promoters of your brand. So some different marketing tactics that you can employ there are follow-up campaigns. So you know, I had a previous client that we would send out an email after their project closed to get feedback. And, you know, if it was good feedback, then we would, you know, thank them for that information. If it was bad, we would talk to them about what we could do to make things better, which helped just to show the clients that, you know, they were valued and their, you know, that their opinions mattered. Social monitoring, so making sure that you're on social media and seeing what people are saying about you, you know, and discussing the good and the bad. You know, I think transparency is really important. You know, and it shows that, you know, you're not perfect, but you're willing to take that, you know, constructive criticism and make things better. And then customer success highlights. This is something else that I have done with clients that, you know, has been really, really helpful. You know, with engineering firms, you know, we would highlight, you know, a client or highlight a project on the website. You know, of course, a lot of those I know are confidential and maybe you can't, you know, share as much as you would like, but, you know, just highlighting, you know, designers that you've worked with or, you know, different sub-consultants, just, you know, shows that, you know, you value those relationships. So that hopefully they'll value their relationship with you and tell their friends. So now we've walked through all these stages and I wanted to kind of walk through kind of an example of how that works in action. So we'll look at John, who's a contractor. He is trying to figure out how to lower construction costs. So he goes on Google and searches how to lower construction costs. And he finds a blog article on your website with, you know, 10 tips to lower construction costs. He thinks that article is really helpful, and then he goes on to download an ebook that you created with, you know, additional information that he finds valuable. And in that, he has provided his email, he provides his phone number, which gives your sales team a reason to call him and reach out and see how they can help. He becomes a customer, and then he continues to receive that valuable information through email newsletters, and social media. So, you know, there's a good, you know, process involved. And I know, you know, some of you may be thinking like, oh my goodness, like this all sounds great, but I've got enough stuff to do. I don't have time to, you know, launch a blog and do social media and all this stuff. And that's okay. You know, I think you can still incorporate inbound marketing just by, you know, doing the small things. You can start small. You don't have to bite it all off at once. You know, I think the first thing you can do and the most important thing you can do is put yourself in your client's shoes. So, you know, anything you do, whether it's a proposal, whether it's, you know, sending an email, you know, putting together conference collateral, just put the client first. Don't think about what you as a company want to share, think about what your client wants to know. And just by changing that focus, I think that will help a lot. You can also do the little things first. So, you know, start with something small like search engine optimization, or, you know, just start out with a LinkedIn profile. You don't have to do all the social media all at once. You can just do, you know, little things first and then continue to grow your strategy incrementally. You know, start with one social media platform, then move to two, and, you know, maybe do one blog article a month and then graduate to, you know, 2 a month, and then maybe, you know, 1 a week, and, you know, just grow it. It takes a long time to build up all the information and to switch your strategy. So, you know, don't feel like you have to do it all at once. But, you know, start small, take little steps. But if you put yourself in the client's shoes first and foremost, that's going to get you where you want to go. So yeah, so that's all I've got. I know that was a really quick overview, but does anybody have any questions or anything they would like to discuss more?
I have a quick question. So how has this changed when some of this stuff is like, seems to resonate more when it's face-to-face, and now we're forced to do some of this virtual or not? How has that changed? Or
yeah, I mean, I think the good thing with inbound, at least in my experience, is it's pretty virtual to begin with. So, you know, with my clients, we haven't really changed our tactics, other than, you know, rather than going to have in-person meetings, you're just doing Zoom calls. So yeah, I think a lot of it, you know, it's very relevant to the world we're in now.
I have a quick question. After you go through the 3 stages and you're in that delight phase, do you have tips on retaining that client and keeping that communication? A lot of our clients are repeat, so we want to keep in front of our competitors and be the first that they think of. So how do we, like, what point does that delight phase fade off, or does it ever?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think, you know, one thing that we did a lot, we've done is email newsletters. Those are a really good way, you know, to keep people, just to keep your name kind of out there. One thing, one of my clients, we did their a sub-consultant in North Carolina. They had a special newsletter list that was only for their clients. So they would get information ahead of time, like if there was a new, they did boardwalk material, you know, so if there was a new texture coming out or a new color or something, they would get that information first. You know, and then, like, you know, I mentioned, I think briefly, just doing like highlights, you know, doing a featured designer or featured sub-consultant feature on your social media or your blog or website. Those are good ways. Yeah, I think, you know, anything that would, you know, just make them feel special. And I don't think it certainly can fall off, I guess, over time. But I think, you know, the goal is to keep them happy, you know, so that they, like you said, remember you and come back to you first.
Keep it consistent.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Julie, I didn't get to take a screenshot fast enough of the example. Do you think you could pull that back up real quick? I had a question, but now I can't remember it because I was
notes
for the recap.
Yeah, let's see.
I grabbed the graphic, but without the content at the bottom. So
this one here.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the questions that I had, more because of your background as a consultant, I feel like that middle engage section, I feel like B2C e-commerce does a really good job of email capturing for those downloads, for even pop-ups as soon as you get to the website, right? I feel like B2B, especially in AEC, is way behind that curve. Now, we might, if we're lucky, have a subscribe to get our emails down at the very bottom or something. Do you agree with that? Or do you feel like you're seeing it become more popular in our industry? Like, where are we at with the email capturing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. That's a great step, is to have, you know, sign up for our email newsletter, as long as you have an email newsletter. I know, like, I've seen companies that do that and don't have an email newsletter, you know, because they expect to get something in return. But I think, you know, some of the other things you can do, I mean, ebooks are great. I know they take a little time to put together, but even like a packet of projects that you've done, I know everybody's got project profiles out there, you know, putting together, you know, 8 to 10 project profiles for people to download, just so they can see the scope of the work you do. You know, different offers like that, I think, are good. And people can provide their email and phone number. You know, just make sure that whatever you're asking for would be, like, I guess the value of what you're providing is worth the information that they're providing. So, you know, you don't want to give like you know, project profiles that you already have available on your website and then ask for email, phone number of employees, what, you know, have like a big long list of things. You but if you have something that would be super valuable to your clients, then sure, ask for more of those things. But yeah, I think the email, there's a lot of people that say email doesn't work. I'm a big believer in email. I think people still want to get them. That's a good way to stay in touch with people. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Any other questions for Julie? All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing your insights and the presentation. I've got the recap up. I was taking notes while we were going, so I will send that over to you, Julie, to make sure that you're good with the layout, and then we will send up a follow-up. Just wanted to let everybody know that if you go out to CKearney Consulting, we have some webinars, free webinars coming up, and we have if you are a CoCentral user, CoCentral importing data, so how to prep for import. Courtney Vance is going to do that on this coming Tuesday, 1 to 1:30. And then we're having a CoCentral Did You Know tips March 23rd. Our team has been collecting I can't believe the system does this, what in the world kind of tips. So we're going to have those at the end of the month. So feel free to register for those. Both of them are free in just a quick 30 minutes. And again, CRM user group call on next Thursday. Thank you again, Julie, and you guys have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.